you start to realize what genetics really is, what everything we're looking at here is, what this body is. It's at its core, what this whole reality is. At its core, it is a vibrational field. It's a waveform construct that I call the metaphysical universe. Whenever I say that term, metaphysical universe, I'm talking about the information, waveform, vibrational construct of this reality. And therefore, when we look at genetics, we see it in physical form, because this is just a holographic, illusory physical reality that we're experiencing, which is why quantum physicists have had this bewildered kind of apparent paradox between the fact that atoms that are supposed to make that up are empty, and yet they make up a solid world. Well, the answer to that is it's not solid. What happens is, through the body computers, we are decoding this waveform information encoded in the metaphysical universe, and we're encoding it through the five senses, from the vibrational into the electrical, into the digital, and into the holographic. So what we call genetics, that you can see, touch, and taste, is actually the holographic decoded projection of the vibrational information. And this starts to explain again, this apparently strange phenomenon that quantum physicists have found, and that's that a particle and a waveform can be in existence at the same time. That something can take a waveform and a particle form at the same time. And it's like, how did they do that? Simple, I would say simple anyway. When you are creating a hologram, one of the holograms you buy in the shops, what they do is they imprint a vibrational information construct on the print through using lasers, etc., which pass across the photographed object and hit a photographic print, which when you see it looks a bit like a fingerprint. That's not an accident either. And so on the photographic print of a hologram, you've got waveform. Then you fire the laser at it, and out of that comes the apparently three-dimensional holographic form. Now look what I'm doing with my arthritic hand, doing a Masonic handshake. Look what I'm doing. The information construct on the photographic print and the holographic projection exist at the same time. The particle, the waveform. Where I'm going through all this is why the book's quite long, is because you have to connect these dots to make the apparently bizarre seem in the credibility that it has when you connect enough dots. So coming back to this whole thing about genetics and the hybrids, etc., what you're looking at with genetics is actually the holographic projection of waveform vibrational information. And that means if you can infuse your genetics into this hybrid race, these Illuminati bloodlines, it means that they are vibrating in compatibility with your energy field far more powerfully than the general population, which allows you to, quote, possess their mental and emotional, what passes for their emotional faculties, and dictate their behavior. And that's what the hybrid bloodlines are for. One of the things that the ways that I explain the analogy of this is that, you know, when scientists are working in a laboratory with something that they can't touch because it's too dangerous, what they do is they put that material in a tank, and they stand outside of the tank and put those gloves on, and though they're outside the tank, they can work with the material inside the tank. Those gloves are the Illuminati bloodlines, basically. They allow these entities operating just outside of this vibrational reality to manipulate within this vibrational reality. So these Illuminati bloodlines are merely the conduit, in effect, almost an empty shell in so many ways, to allow this reality to be manipulated, and in a very powerful way, Theo, for this reason. If we were being manipulated and dictated to by entities that didn't look human, we'd know where we were.
We'd know who the enemy was, wouldn't we?
We'd know where we were. The fact that it's done through interbreeding hybrid bloodlines that look human means that who's going to suss it? And not only that, if they do suss it, who's going to have the round ones to go out in the public arena and start talking about reptilian entities controlling the world? I mean, what are people going to do? Certainly initially, he's mad, see, he's mad. I told you he's mad. Look, Corby's taking his reptilians now. God knows what they're saying about the moon, but it doesn't matter.
Well, we'll get to
because
that later.
I am... See, this is a very important point in terms of the way I operate. I am interested in what is going on in the world. I'm not interested in winning a popularity contest. I'm not interested in everybody saying, oh, how clever he is, and oh, he's got a great mind. I'm not interested in that. I mean, call me what you like. I'm interested in what's going on in the world, and I pursue the information and the direction that I'm guided into, no matter what people think of me. And only that way, Theo, is information going to get into the public arena for people not to believe, you must believe it, but to have access to it, to be able to consider it, to be able to look at the possibility, to see if it stands up when you put the dots together and a lot of detailed information. Because otherwise, no one's going to hear it, because people either would not pursue it or they're terrified of talking in public about it because they fear what other people think. I couldn't give a damn what other people think. They have every right to think what they like. I have every right to do what I believe is right. And this is, I think, when you look at it, one of the so big, major, fundamental reasons why we have been kept as a human race for eons in this tiny, tiny box of possibility when we look at the world and ourselves. It's because it's a very simple process. It goes in two phases. First of all, you have to control the population's perception of the possible. Now, it's really, really powerful, that is, because if you can suppress what is possible in people's minds, that will then limit, by definition, their sense of possibility. So if you're operating out of here in your manipulation of the human race,